You're fired. No severance. You have a happy holidays, though.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to a dope-ass episode, Always Open. I'm your host, Barbara Dunkelman, and with me today, I got some friends.
I'm Rad Millennial Max.
Damn it. I'm Yssa.
Also, right?
I'm sad millennial Mariel, who's just a fucking floating head on this goddamn booth. I clearly did not plan for this very well. Just me, just a floating head.
You know,
What's up?
It's funny, you walked
Your
into the
friendly
studio.
neighborhood floating head.
I saw you with the sweater today walking into the studio, and I thought, we're doing Always Open today, right? She knows what color our
I was
booth
so
is.
happy with this goddamn sweater.
It's a bit.
It's sweater weather.
I can't see that side of your body.
Yeah, this blends in. There's nothing here.
The ghost of Mariel.
So we're joined by today the ghost of Mariel,
She died 20 years ago.
Sparkly Max.
Said no.
Wait, what?
You look
Oh wait, no, this is his.
This is just my natural
This is just
morning
Tuesday
shine.
Max.
Yeah.
As Beyonce said, he woke up like this.
That is
This
true.
is Tuesday Max.
I know people want to do like the natural makeup look.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is actually Texas, and I collaborated, and I just was basically like, give me a really natural, kind of, normal kind of look. And now, congratulations, you're all gonna find glitter all over you for the next 30 years.
I think Texas put it as the herpes of makeup, because
Yeah.
it just gets on everything and then stays there forever.
Yeah, you already have some on your pants.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's where I like it. That's where I like my sparkle.
Whoa.
Well, welcome back, Yssa. We haven't had you in forever,
Hello, I'm here.
and I'm so glad we
Well,
invited you back.
Issa bribes us to come back. Right?
Yeah.
She's the only person who
She
actually
bribes
knows
us.
how to get on this show, which is feeding us.
Awooga.
I've never had these famous macaroons.
Ooh, yes, I made macarons.
Macaron.
Macarons.
What did you?
Macron.
You were
Emmanuel. Macron.
describing these to us earlier, and you
So-
said that they're like the best you've made.
Yeah, I'm gonna brag a bit. These are coffee flavored shells, and then the inside one is Nutella filling, and then the other one is vanilla buttercream. So
I think, I know it's No Nut November, but I'm pretty sure.
don't do it, Max.
I'm pretty sure I just came.
Oh, wait.
Pretty sure I just came.
Yeah. You said Nutella and then vanilla buttercream.
Yeah,
Oh man. I'm
the
so
coffee
excited.
classics.
you ever
Hazelnut.
Hazelnut.
Get me going.
Get me going.
Well, let's use it as a chaser for our shot,
Yeah.
which this week is the Porn Star, which is blue curacao and raspberry liqueur. Liqueur.
Whoa.
Never gonna ever say it. And it's by Brooke G. So cheers, my friends.
Oh, good luck.
Perfect.
Cheers.
Smells.
Did you almost not cheers?
Wait, I didn't cheers Max.
No!
Oh god, it would have been
Oh,
bad
God.
luck.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
It tastes like
Someone says Texas just an ass.
Texas just whispered ass. It tastes like when you're making Jello shots, but you try the
yeah.
Jello concoction before you let it set.
Wouldn't know. I've never had a Jello shot.
Max hates fruit.
Yeah.
What if we made just like plain gelatin, like unflavored gelatin, and like mixed it with like Everclear? it's
Only
just
one way to
pure
find out.
All right, I'll make them for you.
I'm sorry, I haven't heard a single word you guys have said in like 3 seconds because these are fucking baller.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, the coffee. It's like another food analogy. It's like the Kool-Aid that you used to get. There was like the clear Kool-Aid, but you didn't know what flavor it was. It was like you'd mix it and it'd mix in.
You're
like,
still talking about the shot, right?
no.
Are you talking about
I'm
these?
these? Because they're purple, so I'd expect them to taste like purple.
Oh.
But they taste like coffee.
These are delicious.
They taste like coffee.
I feel almost
perfectly
guilty
soft
eating all of
inside.
them.
Thank you.
These are so
Amazing.
good.
Thanks, guys.
You want to be on the show next week again? What other treats can you make us?
I'm starting a podcast in my office, and it's all about Emmanuel Macron.
Emmanuel Macron.
What's the difference between a macaroon and a macaron?
The macaroon is the one with the coconut shavings on top,
But they don't look like this, right?
Yeah, they don't look like these macarons are the little cookie sandwiches.
Which are these?
Yep.
I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
Well,
I've
is it
always
like-
called these macaroons.
Isn't like kolaches aren't actually kolaches?
Right.
Because kolaches is the
Have
ones
fruit.
that fill with fruit.
Oh.
Klobasniks is what you're thinking of when you have the thing with the sausage in them.
Bokar.
Because klobasnik is what I say when I bang my knee on the table.
Klobasnik!
I get very fancy with it.
Yeah.
A
Oh.
moment of pain.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, you just keep enjoying. We're going to move on to our first segment of the show, which is Cupidity. It's an icebreaker game we play where we ask each one of you questions from the famous dating site OkCupid, and you got to answer them rapid fire style in 25 seconds. And then we learn a lot about you.
I can't. I'm saving this one bit by bit.
I'm going to just eat them throughout.
Yeah,
the
I know.
show.
It's just like one bite out of
So
every
good.
So to everyone listening who loves the sounds of people eating, you're welcome.
Mouth sounds. Mouth sounds. The always open edition.
Ooh, episode title, mouth sounds.
Mouth sounds. Oh,
Write it down, Eric.
it's a good one. All right, Max.
Yes.
You up foist.
I'm ready.
Ready with our timer? And go. Do you currently own a library card?
No.
Do you know all the words of your national anthem?
Yes.
Would you ever wait beside the red carpet at an opening night or award ceremony just to catch a glimpse of your favorite celebrity?
No.
Are you texty before you meet someone on a dating app in person?
I don't text hardly at all.
Oh.
Ever.
Have you ever feigned interest in a person you were not interested in just for the attention?
No.
Okay. I'll ask you the last one. Have you shaved your head any time in the last 5 years?
Not in the last 5 years, but when I was young, I did do the Slim Shady.
Really?
I don't know if I have any pictures of it.
Oh, if you find one, you have to
oh,
give
it
it
was
to
so
us.
bad.
Was that in your straight days?
Yeah. Because nothing says straight, like entirely bleached hair or bleached tips.
Right. Or bleached.
They were
assholes.
bleached
Yeah.
as well.
Oh yeah, bleached.
So it was like the buzz cut bleach look.
Which is like now popular again because I see the cool millennials like Wes Ellis doing it. And that means
Wes
the teens.
Ellis. Cool millennial.
That means the teens are doing it again.
The team.
Wes is like the definition of millennial. Like,
That's really
I've never met someone who's so millennial.
He replaced Andrew.
Oh,
Andrew
yeah.
was #1 millennial.
Andrew used to do social media here at Rooster Teeth, moved
then
on
Wes
to a
came
different
in.
job.
That's right.
He works at HQ now.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He's
so
an
he
HQ.
could get you hearts if you want. Just kidding, he can't.
kidding.
I think there's one time he got me a heart,
Ooh.
and then I,
And then he was
Probably
like, "That'll be
lost it.
$2.99."
even though you win like 30 cents every time you win HQ, but
Dude, I won
mean, if
HQ
you ever-
if you win.
the other day, a few weeks ago. I won $2.12, and I literally felt like I had won the goddamn lottery.
Really?
I felt like $1 million winner.
Is there a video of you?
There is. There's, funnily enough, I was at a friend's house, and their security camera that they have in their house, which, they just have it there. And so after I won and I lost my shit, they were like, "Wait, I bet we got that on camera." And they pulled it up, and I was like, "Oh my God."
You're like running through the house. I
Yeah.
think I saw this.
Yeah, I put it on Twitter.
Oh, that's really funny.
See,
Literally
like,
lost my goddamn mind.
I'm always angry because like my husband is like amazing at trivia, but
Wait, you're
is really
gay?
bad. Yeah, surprise. Just today we're making the announcement. But he's really good at trivia, but really bad at technology, and so
Oh.
does not understand or want any part of HQ. But I am very not good at trivia, so I'm like, here's the three answers. It's this one, this one, this
Why
one.
doesn't he just play with you, like next to you, and like look?
Because I don't know. It's just something about it confuses him, and it's not that hard.
Yeah, it's really not. It's a question.
You just press
three
the button.
I know, but I'm just always like, you don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna pick this one, and then I lose in like the third question.
I was
every
really
time.
bummed out because there was a Friends version of HQ Trivia the other night.
How many people won?
A shit ton. But-
That's the one that everyone got 30 cents for.
I think even less. I think it was like 18 cents. There was like 4,000 winners.
Wow.
But I was really bummed out because I came into the game late, and Friends is the show that I know backwards and forwards. Every quote, every character detail, everything. And I came in like after the first question because I forgot about it. And I was like, let me just watch to see if like I would know them. Every single question I knew the answer to, and I was just like, fuck! My first HQ win could have been tonight.
Could have happened.
Could have been 18 cents.
Could have been 18 cents richer. Although don't they only like pay out once you hit a certain?
Not anymore. I think you can pay out whenever. 'Cause I haven't taken out my $2.12 yet.
Waiting for a rainy day.
I'm hoping for interest. Maybe
yes.
if I leave them in there long enough, I'll get another cent or two.
Well, it is a bank, so.
Right.
All right, Miss Yssa,
Bye.
you ready to go? And go. Do you need to improve yourself?
Yes.
Have you ever had to sleep on the streets, even just for one night?
No.
Do you see a doctor for a yearly checkup?
Yes.
Have you ever been barred from a bar or for any reason other than being underage?
No.
Would you turn down a potential date because one of your friends thought the person was ugly?
No.
If you really clicked with someone online and were meeting them in person, how would you greet them when you met them?
Hi.
That is a weird question.
Yeah, it's like, is there a specific?
A butt squeeze or a...
What's up, internet friend?
Do the Peter Parker.
Like double.
I'm so awkward when I meet people in person that I know online. Like when I first met people from the Rooster Teeth community online, I was like, hey, it's me.
In the flesh.
You were pretty young back then, though.
I was like 16.
Yeah.
Probably
I
too
can
young.
imagine.
See, I overcompensate and I just pretend like I've known them and we've met because I actually did that with like one of like the community members that like I hadn't met and had been talking with online for a long time, and then like comes up at RTX and he's like, "Hey Max," and I'm like, "Hey," and then it was like, "Do you know who I am?" And I was like, no. And then he was like, "Oh, it's Patrick," and I was like, "Oh fuck."
You're like, I know too many Patricks.
Yeah. No, I was like, oh boy, I felt so embarrassed.
Good old
As you should.
Yeah.
Jamie from Sugar Pine gave me a wonderful tip. He said when you meet people and you're leaving, you say nice to see you instead of nice to meet you because you've already met them before.
That is
I
so
was like,
good.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
I do that all the fucking time when I meet and I'm like, I don't know if I've met this person before.
That happens to me at
Nice to see
conventions
you.
a lot, where I'll be meeting someone who's like coming to say hello and get a picture or whatever it is. And there's been a few times where I'm like, it's so nice to meet you. And they're like, well, we met at RTX or we met at this other convention. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't remember. So now, no matter, even if I know it's the first time I've met someone, I always go, nice to see you.
Do you ever say like no, you don't use a person's name even if you know their name, like whenever you're running into them, because I'm so scared that I'm gonna say the wrong name because it's happened. Oh. So like even people that I know, like whenever I'm greeting somebody, I won't say their name. I'll be like, "Hey, what's up?" They'll be like, "Hey, Max." I'll be like, "Hey."
I will definitely not say their name if I'm unsure. But it's always
man.
A key tip is always to say the other person's name though to make them feel real special.
Oh.
You just gotta be like Yvonne and go lead with confidence. Every time I saw Yvonne for the first like 3 years, she was like, "Melissa, how's it
Yes,
going?"
yeah.
Or she'll be like,
Not
who
my
are you?
Marisol, how's it going? Again,
Marisol.
still not my name.
There's a point where I'm pretty forward about it. It's like, I'm sorry, I just forgot your name. Can you please tell me again?
See, for some reason that's like a no for me. So I'll like if I have like a friend here that doesn't know them, I'll be like, "Hey,
Have you met my friend
Barbara,
Barbara?
like, have you met my friend Barbara?"
And you
then it's
hope
like-
that they say,
that
"Oh,
they-
hi,
wait,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I do. I do it a lot.
I can. Hot tip, yes.
Hot tip, hot tip, hot tip.
Hot tips, I'm always like,
I've used this
write it down,
before.
Eric.
There was one friend that fucked me over good. Oh no! Because I was like, pretend this is Max. Like, I forget your name, let's say, and I'm like, oh, have you met my friend Max? And then this person goes, yeah, what's her name? Oh, I go, why don't you introduce yourself and find out? I don't speak to that friend
worst.
again. They're not my friend.
That is the worst.
So you go to the doctor every year for a checkup.
Yeah. I mean, it's healthy.
Do all you do that?
I sure plan on it. And I did do pretty good. Did I do good this year? Not
Did
sure.
you get 100
Not
on
a
the
great-
exam?
I didn't get a physical this year.
I'll give that to you later.
Ooh, bend over, cough.
Oh yeah, when do you have to start getting that?
I think it's
prostate
30.
Oh, 30.
Oh, really? I thought it was always.
I mean, honey, it's a Friday night.
Sure.
Sorry.
One more time.
I think.
Oh, we're thinking.
Anyway. I've had multiple doctors a year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Mariel's like over prepared.
No, no.
I finally just got like a general practitioner here in Austin.
Oh.
Because I was just seeing the lady doctor for the last couple years. Because usually they cover most of the things you need.
Yeah.
But I was like, I should probably see a GP.
Yeah, I finally found, because I had like my family doctor, you know, like when I was growing up, who like is this like old crotchety man, and like then had some questions of a sensitive nature around my orientation, and this gentleman asked me, "Son, are you a homosexual? And I was like, in a doctor's context, it's just not, for some reason, not the bedside manner that you want.
Yeah.
Should we send him a picture of you right now?
I think he already knew.
This is
No,
his
I am-
natural look, though.
I am not a
Yeah.
He would
homosexual,
recognize
sir.
him.
Just to clear some things up.
Yeah, no, and so then I found like an amazing like woman doctor who's like super like sassy and old and
Oh,
awesome.
I love old sassy doctors.
I know, they're the best.
What's wrong with you? Everything.
Both of you at the same time.
All right, Meryl.
I'm ready.
Ready to go? I assume we're ready with our timer. All right, and go. What's the best way to handle a bad kisser?
Death.
If you had a partner who was cheating on you, would you want to know?
Yes.
Are you really good at understanding people quickly?
No.
Suppose you have an attractive cousin, and the cousin is also attracted to you. What the fuck? And suppose...
Well, there's cousins, and then there's your first cousins.
That's not how that works.
What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck?
So what about it, Mariel? Would you bang?
Would I fuck my hot cousin?
That's where this question is going.
Would I fuck my hot cousin?
Well, do you want me to finish the question?
Sure.
Suppose you and your cousin are both adults. Would you have non-procreative sex with your cousin?
Would I fuck my hot
Would
cousin?
you fuck your hot cousin?
Don't worry, you're old enough and you're not procreating, so it's fine.
Waiting for an answer here.
Christian act.
He did say this is going to be a dope-ass episode.
He did.
I would not fuck my cousin under any circumstances, procreative or not.
Or not.
Valid answer.
What if you were the only two people left on Earth?
I'd fucking kill myself.
Glad you're really dedicated to humanity.
What if you were part of a royalty and that was the only way to carry on the monarchy?
Isn't that how it is anyway? Usually?
I mean, like,
that's
back
how
in
it
the
was
day.
back in the day.
I just started reading that question, and I thought, where is this going?
Do you know, I actually, when I was younger and I didn't understand how the world worked, I thought your parents had to be related. Like, I thought that's how marriages worked.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because, and I took a bite of my macaron in a very good moment, but I used to want to marry my younger brother.
You
Like-
fucked up. Brother fucker.
When I was very young, like 5 years old, I was like, I want to marry him so we could be together forever. Because he was like my favorite person.
And then everybody's like, oh, that's so cute.
Oh, we're going to
You're
have
like
to arrest you.
20 years old. Mom, still want to marry him.
Still want to marry him.
Just let me know.
He's almost the age of consent.
Yeah. So I remember being like, when I was, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, always trying to figure out, like, okay, how is it that my parents are related? Because I know that's how that worked. So, like, are they cousins? Are they, they're not siblings, I know that.
I would think that you might not think that way if you had like, if your parents were in an interracial marriage. Because then,
My parents?
yeah.
They're not interracial.
No, as in if they
Oh.
were though.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Then it would be
Maybe
a little
you
bit harder to.
Yeah. Or you just,
Or just
Or
fuck
they're
your
just
cousins.
related.
Yeah.
yeah.
The great thing is there's probably people who answer yes to that question because this is from OkCupid.
That is a good question to know the answer to if you're trying to meet somebody, because that would be what they call in the biz a little red flag. Like, yeah, we really seemed to click, and then he just, talked about
Fuck his cousins.
fucking his cousin or wanting to.
Yeah. And then we got married.
Then we got married.
So anyway, now we both fuck his cousin. Enough of that. All right. Are we ready with Barbara's timer? We're ready and go. Have you ever fully read a book over 1,000 pages?
I don't think so.
Do you consider yourself a safe driver?
Yes.
If someone compliments you, aren't they usually trying to get something from you?
No.
Would you rather a partner who says I love you but doesn't seem to show it, or shows that they love you but never says it?
Shows it, doesn't say it.
Would you be turned on by your partner undressing you before sex?
Yes.
Would you date someone who has never been in any kind of a relationship before?
Yes.
Any kind of relationship. Any friendship.
Not even friendships.
I mean,
Like a wolf
They grew up in
child.
the world. You're dating Tarzan.
I think with that kind of thing, it's like you know what you're getting into. Like if someone's never been in a relationship, my expectations would probably be very low of what the outcomes of that would be.
Well, and are you also like, now I can shape you
I could
into the perfect way?
There's a lot of pounds.
born into it. Molded by it.
Can I touch this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Now you have glitter on you forever.
Is it like super stuck? It like looks good.
Oh. Well, I did.
What'd you do? You put some Elmers on there?
No,
Elmer's.
it's glitter. It's called Glitter Fix. Look it up.
Oh, it did fix the glitter onto your face.
Hence.
Hence.
Yeah, hence.
Hence.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never understood the people who think people who compliment them are just looking to get something from them. I've never understood that mentality.
Oh, that's me all the time. Constantly complimenting to get stuff out.
So it's
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
you kept
Saying that you're
stuff
beautiful.
on
Yeah.
me.
Where the fuck are the more? I want more macarons.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I feel like that's
time,
another
all
one of
the
those things where it's kind of like, you seem to be kind of you versus the world if you feel that way.
I just like being nice to people.
Yeah.
Like I guess I always put myself in their shoes where if there's a time where I get a random compliment from someone, stranger, person I know, just makes you have a better day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
And so why not just make someone feel happy?
I hold the door for an insane amount of people.
Like
Like
here at work.
No, like
the
just
local
more like if I'm
Target.
like going into the like gas station or wherever, and there have like literally been, because now I'm out in like Bastrop, so there's like times when it's like some super like rednecky kind of dude who's like in his like beat up old pickup truck, and I'm like I will go and I'll like I know that they're heading towards the door, but it's that weird like not quite the right amount of time, so like I'm holding it and then it's like probably should leave here because this is getting a little bit too long.
Is it like
but
the
I'm,
Canadian door hold?
Yeah, I'm just like up. I'm waiting.
And then the person has to like jog over in order to like
Oh,
get through the
he
door.
sure didn't. This happened last week. But yeah. Yeah.
I'm coming.
And I was like,
I'll be there.
I'll wait. Kindness.
You're too nice. You would fit in well in Canada.
There you go. Look at this Canadian angel baby right there.
Canadian angel.
If you ever want to feel really good about yourself, just go to a bathroom at a bar, a girl's
yeah.
bathroom. Because
Oh yeah, they
girls
always compliment you.
and bars just like, oh my god, I love your dress. Where'd you get it?
There's a great tweet that's going around right now that was like girls like in the bathroom. It's like, oh my god, I love you. You're the best person ever. Like you're the most beautiful angel I've ever seen. And then it's like girls outside of the bathroom. It's like if you bump into me one more fucking time, I will murder you.
It's true.
It's so true.
Oh yeah. Well,
Especially at Barbarella's.
Oh god.
or at Highland where they have like the all gender restrooms, like that. I mean, I go on a compliment spree in there because everybody's just like, oh my gosh, you look so. No, you look amazing.
That's funny. I think there was one tweet that I saw. It was girls drunk in the bathroom, and the number one thing was like, "Oh my God, your dress is so cute." And the first thing that person would go is, "Yeah, and it has pockets."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh God, I'd said that word for word one time."
If a dress has pockets, you're telling people.
You're telling
I have to
people.
tell everyone.
Well, I know how we talked about cousins before. Speaking of cousins, this episode of Always Open is brought to you by 23andMe.
Oh my fucking god. The new dating site.
Find people that you shouldn't be with. 23andMe is a personal genetic service that helps you understand what your DNA can tell you about you and your family history, including who maybe some cousins of yours might be. Maybe you hate cilantro or twitch in your sleep. With 23andMe, you can see how your genetics influence your body and taste buds. A 23andMe DNA kit is the perfect gift of genetic discovery for your parents, your siblings, your aunts, your grandparents, and everyone else on your list. With 23andMe's Ancestry Composition Report, you can explore where your DNA is from out of 150 regions worldwide. You can discover the origins of your maternal and paternal ancestors and how they moved around the world over thousands of years. I did a 23andMe a little while ago, and I accessed my results recently and found out that I'm so European.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think it was like 99.9% European.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's 99% vanilla.
Yeah. And also things like how it determined what kind of hair I had, what color eyes I had, color hair, all this stuff.
Do you get the speaking of cousins?
Yeah.
I recently got an email and it was like, you have new DNA relatives, and I like went and it was like, this so and so has like point something percent like of your DNA, and like you're like third cousins or something. And so I texted my mom and I was like, do you know anyone with this last name? And she was like, no, I have no idea. And I was like, well, well, I think they're our cousins. She was like, you have cousins that you know that you don't talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I must find
And I
them.
was like, now I know.
Yeah, you could see like it shows you DNA matches like to what percent they're matching with you. I think the highest one I had was like 4%.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe. It was very high. They might be I think it was like a third cousin.
Yeah.
Is the highest one.
Oh, interesting.
You could trace parts of your ancestry to a specific group of individuals from over 1,000 years ago. Now through December 25th, get 30% off any 23andMe kit. Order your DNA kit at 23andme.com/open. That's the number 23andme.com/open. Again, that's 23andme.com/open.
Open it up.
Go find your
See,
cousins.
Like, I'm all for it. I just, when do we get to change the dang DNA?
Where's
know?
the service for that?
Yeah.
Turn me into a dog, science.
How much do I gotta pay to get turned into a dog?
What if I want brown eyes now?
What if I want a gigantic conical shaped head?
Wasn't there something like a couple years ago where people were altering the genetics of their unborn babies?
Yeah,
Chrissy
just
Teigen did that.
CRISPRs.
Really?
CRISPRs. That's what Chrissy Teigen did. She chose to have Luna, her girl.
Oh my god.
That opens up a lot of ethical.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, haven't we just traveled so far down the ethics tube?
At this point, why aren't we just fucking our cousin?
Another potential title for the episode.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Or not.
We're fucking her cousin.
All right. Well, let's move on to we have a hotline call from a lovely, always open viewer. Let's take a listen.
Hey, Barbara and Mariel and the rest of you. I had an incident where I was drunk and my best friend's fiance kind of made a move on me. He went to kiss kind of between my lips and my cheek area, and then when I didn't make a response, he sort of told me that he shouldn't be doing this, pulled away from me, and left. I'm not sure if it was my drunk self making things up in my head. Realistically, I know that telling my friend is the right route to go, but I was just wondering if you guys had any advice or any thoughts of maybe it could have been a friendly kiss that I misinterpreted or something. I don't know what to do right now. Thanks so much. Bye.
If he isn't full-blown gay or European, he ain't gonna be giving you a friendly kiss right here.
I mean, it depends if he was going for the cheek and he missed and maybe
That's
got
a large,
little...
Especially his reaction. She said that immediately after he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that." It's like if you're
Red. That is what is it you called it?
a red flag.
flag.
That's a red flag
Red
factory.
Factory.
Yeah.
they're churning them out.
They're churning them out.
So what do you think she should do? This is I think maybe it might be a polarizing discussion.
Yeah, I don't know. My first thought was don't bother. But then it's also if she feels uncomfortable with the situation and she feels like a line was crossed and she needs to clarify that with her friend, then
I feel like she should talk to the guy first to maybe clear up what was going on. Because it seems like a very innocent move, in my opinion. People are drunk, hanging out. Maybe he was going for a kiss on the cheek or just had a moment of just being an idiot for a second, which happens to the best of us. Maybe she just needs to talk to him and be like, hey, this happened. I feel really awkward about it. I'd like to talk to your fiance about it, my friend, because I feel like she deserves to know, and I just want to know what you think of that situation.
the only thing I worry about is just it blowing up and turning into a bigger situation than it needs to be.
Yeah.
You never know how people are going to react to that
I kind of
stuff.
feel like it might be a situation one of the rare situations because it's kind of in a weird area, but not into a really scary area. It was might be able to talk to both of them at the same time, bring it up and be like, hey, what was that? But it also depends on if your friend.
Yeah.
There's
That's why I
a
think
lot of-
pull him aside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of this isn't a situation where it's oh, give us more info, but
Yeah.
more so just so we could figure out what is the right.
Or what their relationship was like before that.
Yeah.
'Cause if they were very friendly and touchy-feely friends before that, and he went to do that it might be more understood. But if it just like
Out of nowhere.
they were not that close and out of nowhere he was like that, then it might be a red flag. I mean, I think it's still maybe like an orange flag, yellow flag.
Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like especially like the thing afterwards of saying like oh I shouldn't be doing this. Like
Shouldn't
was
have
it-
done that, I
I
think
shouldn't have
you
done
said.
that. Yeah, that like implies like I mean if you're drunk and you're doing something, I don't know.
Might have showed like ill intent.
Yeah, I feel like if you're drunk and just doing that on a lark, it would just be like, oh, like not like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like, oh. Like, I feel like I shouldn't have done that is, depending on the delivery.
Yeah. And also,
Is-
especially if he's engaged to her friend.
Her best friend.
Yeah, and I mean, regardless of the relationship, if he's an engaged man or a man in a relationship, whatever it is, if he's exhibiting that kind of behavior, it probably isn't the first time he's
Where
done
there's
something
cheat
like
smoke,
that.
there's cheat fire.
That's what I was thinking too, because on top of the whole, like, if we had more information according to the situation,
Yeah.
if that happened, it's like, well, does he have a history?
Yeah. So do you think she should tell the friend?
Ooh.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. You think so,
Yeah. I would go with, yeah, do it.
Meryl?
Yeah, I would. If I were in that situation, I definitely would. I don't think it's like, I mean, the easy route is just like, oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is going to be the harder route too, because there's a lot of, there are a lot of outcomes out of that too, because what if that could,
That could backfire on her, and
That
what if
could
the friend's
backfire.
like, oh, well, Tommy told me that you were making moves
Yeah,
on
why were you
him
getting
that
drunk
you
with
a
my
bitch.
fiance?
Well,
Yeah.
I think you could also like be talking with your friend and just be like, hey, like we were all getting drunk and then like this happened, just wanted to kind of like talk to like my friend about it.
Yeah.
Like not be like, he's up to something. Just kind of,
Yeah.
process that together a little bit. I think
Right.
in a non-threatening, like something's going on way. I
It
think
is
that's
something
productive.
I guess she deserves to know.
Yeah.
If her fiance's acting that way and, I don't want to say hitting on other people, but making a move, whether it's intentional or accidental or whatever it is, they should probably still talk about that.
It's always good to talk about things.
It's a tough situation to be put in.
Talk it out.
And that's shitty of him to put her in that position.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Whether it was, I mean, like you said, like maybe he was just drunk and in the moment and like just forgot about whatever, or maybe he's a shitty person.
Yeah. Do you look like your friend? Maybe he thought you were her.
Are you cousins? Are you cousins?
Do you want to be?
Use 23andMe.
Can you alter my genetics so I can be Max's cousin so we can bone?
Yeah. Let's get that CRISPR going.
I'm only boning you if you're my cousin.
Well, and we
Okay, I
also
was like,
got to
is that
figure
the
out
requirement?
some severe
That's fine. We'll figure
orientation things, but we'll find the gay gene.
it out.
Don't
Once
worry.
we're cousins, we're fine.
Yeah. Then you can fuck all you want.
It's a weird theme for this episode.
Yeah,
I like it.
I don't-
I like that we're there.
Trying to get away from it, but then
Trying
keeps
to
coming
run
back, it
away,
keeps coming
but
I don't allow it to happen.
Whatever.
But yeah, I guess ultimately I would say put yourself in your friend's position, in your friend's shoes, and say like, what would I want to hear? What would I want to know if this happened? And just do that.
yeah, I feel like if like something happened with somebody that like if I had a fiance,
You know what I'm saying?
like, and that was happening, I feel like if somebody came up and told me that, then at best, or like, the easiest thing to happen is just for me to go and talk with, my person and be like, hey, like, what was going on there? And then it was like,
Fuck.
got too drunk. And it's like, okay, cool. Now we're all on the same page, as
Yeah.
opposed to
Or,
like,
hey,
wait.
don't do that again.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, well, let's move on to our next segment. I'm very curious to hear your opinions on this, because I know I got a lot. This is from Eloise F. And Eloise asks, what are some of your character flaws that you're currently working on?
I know I have flaws. I don't know if I'm working on them. It's like at a certain point, I'm like, oh, they're just character traits.
Yeah, they're just
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh no, I was a bitch.
I cannot see you being a bitch to anyone ever.
But see, that's always the ones that that after they leave work, they head straight over to an alleyway and start like
Poisonous
fighting
macarons.
people for money.
Fighting people for that's a character flaw right there.
Yeah, yeah.
I fight people for money.
That's it. That was it. I just picture. Okay, it's been a long day. Doing the
Yada. That's what I have to work every day.
It was funny. My friend and I were talking. It was really late at night, and
Nice.
the usual, when you're really vulnerable. I ended up crying.
Hey, you're on the right show.
Yeah.
It was more so because I think I can list all my flaws for sure. I think one of my biggest ones is actually like I perceive myself as really self-centered and like really vain. Or like really selfish and stuff, and of course it's a perception. Maybe I'm not.
So like you feel you're too self-centered?
Yeah. Like I think how to put it, I always feel like I'm the character of my own story.
You are.
You are though.
I am. So fuck everyone else. It's like how far do you go? I'm very self-centered, but then at the root of all of my inherent flaws, I think, is I actually have a lot of ego. So there is something that I asked my friend, and this was kind of like an exercise from one of my favorite YouTube vloggers, where it's like, if you're ready, ask your friends what you think your biggest personal flaw is, and if you're ready. So of course I asked her, and I was like, I have traits, I'll steel myself for this if I need comfort. And one of the first things she told me was that I tend to overanalyze everything, so I tend to do something and I doubt myself and I keep going back to it and keep revisiting it.
That's a very common one.
Yeah, and then it ends up festering because I keep going back because I keep wondering if I did something wrong. So it's like, she called like a mental dissonance because there's something different between my actions and what I'm feeling. So of course I'm going to therapy for that, and it's like, cool, I'm dealing with it in that way. And she says, you're dealing with it. I'm like, okay, cool. And she goes, wait, there's another one. I'm like, oh.
You're like, bitch, I said one. You got one,
I
motherfucker.
legit just like texted in all caps, okay. Like, I'm ready. And she's like, you really want everyone to like you. And that it's like, it works most of the time, but you can't expect everyone to like you. And that's when I started crying. Because that's like the one thing I understand theoretically, where in order for you to get through that, you kind of have to help yourself and accept that fact yourself.
Yeah.
But it's in theory.
Yeah.
Everything about that is more yourself. You can't just like take a walk, it's not, it all happens in here, and that's how I know the solution is, but it's a lot harder to practice. So that's the one where I was just like, yeah, I know. I just want everyone to like me, but not everyone's going to, so.
Well, we all like you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
So you got three
You
out
got
of
three things.
a couple
Three
billion.
out of millions.
And that friend.
Billions of people on this planet.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that I'm working with. After she told me that, I was like, okay, I just need to remember to write that down so I can talk about it with my therapist.
I need your friend to come read me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no,
Come ruin
she's
my day.
great at it.
It's just stuff you need to hear.
Yeah.
People tell you that kind of thing that's like, they're not trying to hurt you. They're just trying to make you aware of things that you might not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a total therapist. Like,
Yeah.
she's just like, hey, I'm going to give you this shit. And she'd be like, I'll listen, but then I'm going to tell you.
Tough love.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love.
Yeah, like mine was basically that like over the course of this year, finally like stood up to some people in my life that were like not making me feel so good. And then after that I was like, wait, why not super happy yet? And then it was like, oh wait, haven't been looking at self. And so did that, like been doing that a lot lately, and I think that one of the like biggest but like most interesting ones was effortlessly manipulative. Just like, but like in a way where it's basically like, oh, like I want the people around me, I want the people in my life, like when I am, if I'm seeing them day to day, or even in relationships, like oh, like I'm happy, everybody should be happy. I'm sad, everybody's sad. And like kind of not taking ownership of that control, and like just being like, oh, well, like that's something that happens, rather than respecting other people's like, time and feelings. And I think it's.
When did that kind of start?
Well, I think it's just, a very dramatic, big personality.
You?
But
Dramatic?
yeah.
Big personality?
And I do like I also have like the salesman sort of thing. So like I'll sell friends on whatever thing I feel about whatever I feel about it. And then it just kind of like, I think it's been going on for so long that I realized like earlier this year when there was just like realizing that I was doing this in the relationship and with the people that I live with, and I was like, that's not all right.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just kind of like, oh, you're actually making other people feel bad or not how they want to feel or how they should feel just because something happened to tick you off or whatever. It's like very different from being like angry all the time about something. It's more like you can't be happy if I'm not happy.
It's a very special thing though that you're able to identify that, because a lot of people have qualities like that and are completely blind to it.
Or they just like, are like,
You're like, that's just the way it
yeah,
is.
someone else's problem.
It was because I asked, like, I was talking to a friend earlier this year who's like a freelancer that I work with a lot around here, and I was just like, yeah, like, feel like, 6 months ago or something, it was like, I feel like my mood kind of changed, and I feel like some people like weren't as like happy, that were like that I was like sharing office with. He was like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I was like, oh, so we see it. Okay, cool, got it, good. But I do really like those moments when like a friend's just like, oh no, yeah, 100%, or like, actually this is what's going on. Like, it's better hearing it from a friend because people who don't like you won't tell you it.
Yeah, it's true.
They'll
I was like, no, you're great.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm working on it.
I'm proud of you.
I'm just at least identifying it and then trying to
That's half the battle.
be more positive with people, especially like people that I'm around that are prone to things like depression and anxiety that I do not have. And it's like, can't be putting people down.
Yeah. Mine are similar to you, Yssa, where it's almost two traits that are contradictory to each other, where one is I feel like I could be a really bad friend a lot of the times. Like, I don't check in with people as much as I want to, and a lot of that has to do with just knowing more people as you get older and get into more things and get jobs and do all this stuff. But I just feel like I haven't been a good friend to a lot of people back home, even people here, just like, I always feel like, oh, it could be someone else's problem to deal with this person when they're going through this, or, I don't want to burden them with me also checking in on them when they're going through this. But I feel like that's almost like a selfish view of friendship, of just like, oh, it's not my problem, when it's like, it should be your problem if you're this person's friend. But then on the contrary, I also have the same thing where I feel like I want everyone to like me.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't like me, I have to find out why, what I did, how could I make you love me, what the hell is wrong? And it gets to me. Like, I could be in a room full of like 200 people, and if 199 of them are like, we like you, you're fine, and one person's like, I don't like you, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? What did I do? What's wrong with me?
It's super compounded because I think it's less if it's a stranger, right? It's if a stranger just doesn't like you, I think it's like, okay, sure, whatever, you don't really know me. But if it's someone you actually really know, and they're like, I don't really want to deal with you, then it kind of starts to poison you from the inside.
And then you like ask people who know them too, and you're like, did I do something to this person to make them not like me, or something wrong with them, or are they mad at me for this reason? Especially if they are someone who has been friendly to you in the past, or friends with you in the past, and then all of a sudden they're like different. And you're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
And I'm mostly like always paranoid too about, it's like, oh, I know this person said shit about me, which is why this person is like not talking to me anymore. And I'm just like, it's obvious.
But
Find the source.
something that's helped me with that, because I know like the second part of this question is like how you're working on it. I've heard this advice from a number of people, but it's just to basically not spend time on people who don't care about you and not want you in their life. So if there's people who you constantly have to work for their friendship, it's not worth it, because there's plenty of people in the world who will be your friend because they want to be your friend.
Yeah.
So it's a hard pill to swallow at times.
Oh God, yeah.
All
No,
the
like
time.
this year, it was like, because like now that I think about it, that is like basically the basis why I've stayed friends with certain people that were like not making me feel good about myself. And it
You're
was
just trying to win their affection constantly.
and it was like this year, it was just kind of like, yeah, it should be easy because all the people that I have that are like my best friends, it's like, oh, like, it's really easy with them.
I could just be myself, and they still want to
Yeah.
be my friend. I don't have
Yeah.
to put any extra effort.
Yeah,
Or they
whereas-
also make the effort.
Whereas like the other friends are kind of like, well, like the bad friends are like, oh, well, you owe me something because you did this, even though you apologized for it or something. And I'm like it took a shockingly long amount of time for me to be like, wait a minute,
That's not right.
that's unacceptable.
This isn't friendship.
Yeah,
I can't believe you're airing our dirty laundry on this.
Mariel,
So we said we wouldn't bring it up.
Mariel, I just had to.
Is it just because you can't see me because I'm invisible on this?
Yes.
Floating.
And also, I had to manipulate the situation to bring everybody against you.
Yeah,
You know what? I don't
It
care
worked.
what people think about me. So.
that's nice.
What
about you?
I have no self-compassion.
Bullshit.
I know I really don't. I don't have any
Oh, self-compassion.
self-compassion. I have plenty of compassion for others, but I actually don't. That was one of the first things when I started going to therapy. My therapist said, "You're very hard on yourself," and I said, "No, I'm not." And she said, "No, you really are."
No, I'm not. That's like the first answer. You're hard on something. No, I'm not.
You're hard on myself.
You're hard on me. No, but
I'm here to tell you to mess me up later.
I realize that I expect myself to like always do things right and always get things right and always kind of live up to this like version of myself that I have that then affects my relationships with other people because I also expect them to like be there, and so it gets so frustrating for me when it's like, well, like why can't you do that the way I would do it? Because I'm like mad at myself that I can't always do the right thing all the time, you know? So it like leaks into relationships and like friendships and like all of this stuff. It's like, well, that's not how I would have reacted. So like my lack of self-compassion is now affecting people, but I'm reading a book on it. So.
Remember the title of the book?
Gosh.
Was it like
I think it's
Self-compassion
literally
for
just called
self-love?
self-compassion.
Self-compassion.
Like I got it on Amazon.
Because my therapist also recommended a book too.
Oh yeah.
I forget the title.
It's like, all right. I'm not gonna say her name. Tracy. Like, I'm here. Don't send me to Amazon to buy a book. That's what I'm here for.
You read it to me. A bedtime story.
Yeah, that's
They're
right.
like, I'm a car going into the mine garage, and I need you, the mechanic, to fix my Monday.
Yeah, you expect me to go to the mechanic and read a book on cars?
Yeah, I know what. Tell them what to fix.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the book. I'm gonna be like, you told me to read it. Here you go. Read it to me.
That's really fun.
So, like,
yeah.
are you harder on yourself in situations like if, like, for example, if I did something and came to you with what I did, like, you'd be easier on me versus if you did the same
Right.
thing that I did,
100%. Yes.
and you're just trying to figure out how to
Yeah.
have that same self-love.
Yeah, because I think, right, like any kind of positive relationships always start with, like you said, you know, like if I'm not happy.
What's in here?
And if my kind of view of myself is negative, then I'm gonna kind of push that on. Not necessarily like I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're not gonna be like Mariel's such a negative person, but it might be for me. It's like I'm my perception of other people is affected by that.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, well, no one's good enough. I'm not good enough. No one's good enough for anything.
Do you ever have the bad VCR? That's what I call it. Whenever you're like about to go to bed, then you just think of all of the
Oh my
things.
God.
Right.
I don't do it as much like these days as much as I used to, but I used to be a person who like just really was filled with a lot of just like shame and just like everything about everything. And like I think there's a certain point where it's just kind of like it's hard to let go of all those things because it's like, well, if this is a scorecard, then I got a C and I should have gotten an A.
Yeah.
Until you realize, like, I think it's like when you look around, it's like, well, we're all just bags of fucking chemicals
Well, also-
walking around this fucking place, eat
Bags
more
of gas.
chemicals.
Something that helped me too, because there's been times where I've gone through moments of like hating myself and like all this shit. And someone put it in a very interesting way that kind of changed my perspective on it. It's the person you spend the most time in your life with is you. Like there's gonna be no one else you spend as much time with. You have to be okay with you first and foremost before anything else. And that kind of changed my perspective of just like, all right, guess I gotta like this person.
I start doing a lot
Yeah.
of, I think, especially like around this age, like mid to late 20s, people start doing a lot of reflection because you're finally kind of becoming a person, like for real.
Yup.
And so you're like, okay, shit, like how I do thing.
How do I
How
person?
do?
How I person.
By the way, everyone watching, we're in like our late 20s.
Yeah.
And we're just now starting to maybe kind of figure out who we are. So if you're watching and you're like a teenager in high school, or you're even in college, or older than us.
Don't even bother.
Don't think you need
It's
to know who
all
you
a
are.
trap.
I did have one of my friends, who is one of those amazing friends that just is always just so eloquent.
Thank you.
It was Barbara. No, she just said, she said the best thing. It was so fucking simple. It was just like, be patient with yourself. And I was like,
But I want it now.
Yeah, precisely.
That's exactly how I am too. It's like there's, things that happen to me and I get upset about it and I immediately am like, why am I upset about this? I just want to be over it. And I don't give myself the time to be over it. I'm just stewing at how angry I am at myself for being upset.
Be patient.
It's
Mindfulness. It's a hard thing to understand and it's a
Yeah.
hard thing to learn. And I will be reading a book about it soon that my therapist recommended.
there's also an episode of Steven Universe that basically just covers that all in 10 minutes. So
Oh.
just do that one.
I'll just watch that instead of reading.
It
I
sucks.
don't know how to read anyway.
what do I?
All of us
how
are
do I
illiterate.
person? It sucks because it's still a process. Like I've been super angry for so long, and even then it's been like
can
2,
tell.
3 years. Oh, thank you. No one can ever know.
Smiles through the pain.
Laughter is my self-defense. What is shit? Laughter is my defense mechanism. There it is. There it is. Something happened to me like a few years back, totally related to how I'm totally paranoid about people talking about me behind my back. And these are people I've known for years. Like they're my best friends, like childhood best friends, and we had a huge falling out.
Oh no.
And they still live where I used to live, and it's crazy because I know they know other people around that area, and we had mutual friends. So I'm always super afraid that they're just gonna say whatever happened, and then people are just like not gonna talk to me again, because it's now that becomes my image is tarnished and stuff. And I'm so used to curating myself a certain way on the internet, especially if you've been on the internet for so long, right? Like you know how to present yourself a certain way. So
You have choice, yeah.
yeah, so it's that's kind of why I also stopped online dating, because I was just like, I'm not this way in person and like online. I don't want to do that anymore. So whenever that happens, it's just like, oh man, it sucks. Something that actually helped me, funny enough, when that whole thing was going on, one night I totally broke down, and then I knew my mom was up early because she has weird sleeping hours, so I called her, and I was blubbering, but we actually talked it out, and I was so afraid of my mom being the one to be like, no, you have to work things out with your friend, like you have to be a good friend and that kind of a thing. But instead, when I was telling her like, no, I did this for myself, I wanted to protect myself, and she was actually like, yeah, you do that. You look out for yourself. And I was just like, so that was nice, and that actually kind of helped build another bridge to my mom, since there's also been some other things going on.
Yeah,
so,
it's nice when you could connect in that way. Yeah. When someone understands what you're going through.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have to say on this matter is that for all of us being really critical about ourselves, trying to figure things out, remember how many terrible, awful people are just doing great. No problem, no care in the world. So
Like in the White House?
in the world, yeah, but also just all around.
All around the world.
That's true.
I think it's all around the world. Can't sing. There was a
Nope,
song
we're
there.
just,
Yeah.
it's just a
And they
sentence.
see?
Yeah. Who knows how long I've loved you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like you guys.
We like you, Yssa.
You know what else we like?
Where is it?
Movement watches.
Hey!
This episode of Always Open
No
is
bear.
also brought to you by Movement. We all know and love Movement. They're our favorite underdog success story, founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. They've sold over 1.5 million watches worldwide by bringing quality designs at fair prices. With Movement's versatile line of watches, glasses, and accessories, you'll be sure to find the perfect holiday gift this season. I love giving out Movement watches for the holidays and special occasions. They have so many awesome styles. You're sure to find something for even the pickiest person on your gift list, like Max and Yssa.
The pickiest
Very
people.
picky.
They're not gonna go.
They're never gonna get you. Movement watches are all about looking good while keeping it simple. They don't tell you how many steps you've taken or blow your wrist up with text messages. They're not overly intrusive on life with notifications, text messages, or emails. They tell time like true classic timepieces should and look good doing it. Movement did all the hard work this season so you wouldn't have to, and they made awesome gift boxes and packages. If you need help giving the perfect gift this season, but don't know where to start, the guys over at Movement Watch has got your back. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/open. Movement's launching new styles on their site all the time, so make sure to check out their latest at movement.com. Go to mvmt.com/open and join the movement.
Join it. Actually, I also have a bracelet from them that I really like. It's just kind of like a little cuff bracelet.
Oh, cute.
Super cute.
I just got my movement watch today, so.
Did you? Oh.
Oh, it looks familiar.
Looks like the one I just had.
Oh, it fits so nicely. Me and Trevor were just in Cancun for a vacation, and we both brought our movement
I
sunglasses.
saw that. I saw a picture and I was like, I have the same exact one.
And they're the same model of sunglasses. And I was like, well, one of us is gonna have to change.
Yeah.
Are we
not.
no, like are we getting into that mode where now it's like let's just like wear the same
Like
shirts and like
match?
outfits and then like
There was a lot of couples on vacation there who were like in matching bathing suits.
Oh, yeah.
and
That's
matching-
Oh,
It was
yeah.
cute, but also like, no.
It's a,
Also, no.
when I visited Japan in Tokyo Disney, it was a big thing. Like all the people, there are people there who really like to match with each other.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
like, actively
Disney's
plan.
crazy.
I've been watching too many YouTube videos about Tokyo Disney. Do not get me started.
But there's a whole
It's
YouTube.
amazing.
What kind of videos are there?
Just like people walking through the park.
Yeah, just like, oh, here's some really good food that you can get, and like stuff like that. Tokyo Disney is a study in capitalism. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I
All
want to
right.
go there.
Yeah. Don't start watching the vlogs of it online. It'll suck you in.
Good tip.
Good tip.
I won't.
Hot tips from Always Open.
Just watch more Always Open episodes instead.
Watch
Always
more
open hot tips.
Always
Hot
open.
tips.
Write it down, Eric.
Well, y'all about to get some hot tips from us for this boy box of
Boy.
issues.
Oh.
Quite a big piece of paper for a small question. All right, this question is submitted by Kara. And
Next time I just hope it's that big of a piece of paper with then it's like the text is like blown out. Anyway, go ahead.
So this is from Kara, and Kara writes, I have often seemed to struggle with knowing the difference between loving someone and being infatuated with someone. Have you ever experienced this? It is hard for me to talk about this with some of my friends, and hearing outside perspectives would be great. So infatuation versus being in love.
I personally define it as the idea, or being in love with the idea of someone, and that's kind of more on the infatuation side as opposed to being in love with someone.
Well, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning of relationships, or even just like when you're dating, I think things usually start off with infatuation, where you just like,
The honeymoon phase.
yeah, you don't yet have that like, I need to be around this person all the time, or I care about their well-being necessarily as much as just like being intimate with them or attracted to them. And then when it turns into love, it becomes a lot more like, I legitimately care about this person having the best possible life.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the way I define love is kind of like the way that I experienced it, because I've already talked about this on this podcast before, but it was like, you know, dating the ladies back in the day.
You're straight.
Yeah,
Straight
which
Max?
was yeah,
Straight.
not really but like it was during that time there was times where I was like, oh, I think I'm in love, and then whenever like I started dating men, it was like the first guy I ever like went on a date with, I was like, I'm in love. Totally an infatuation.
Yeah.
Like was, you know, totally ghosted and everything. And it was funny because whenever I met my now husband, I was like it was just a very strange feeling of just like, oh, well, like, oh, I could see like hanging around you for, I don't know, forever.
Just doing nothing.
just like, yeah, don't even matter.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, let's keep this going. It was very different from like the full on like, oh my gosh, you know, like drama of everything. It was very much just like, this is not a friendship. This is something more.
Yeah.
I think that's
There's also
yeah.
like, I know when I was single like a year and a half ago or so, there was plenty of guys that I would like be interested in seeing and hanging out with and, you know, having fun with, but had zero interest in like anything beyond that. And I think that's where infatuation kind of stops.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
For me personally.
I don't know. I always like for me, it just basically means just having a really big crush on someone,
Yeah.
and then like you're like, I don't want to find out anything about you. I want to get to know you. I just like I have you on this pedestal, and like, whereas like being in love with someone, it's like I want to know how you work. I want to know everything about you. I want to like dig deep into your childhood traumas, get me there, like put that shit on me. God, I infatuation is like something I deal with on the daily.
Has this ever happened to you guys where you have a crush on someone or like you're infatuated with them for like months or years or whatever it is, just like this person you've always been interested in that way, and then you actually get with them and then it's instantly like, huh.
Oh yeah.
See, I would
Oh, yeah.
say I wouldn't
yeah.
even get, like, it wouldn't even be a situation where I get with them. I'll just learn some new information.
Oh, yeah.
After like years, and just be like, well, that's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy who I had a crush on, like who we like did some work with a couple years ago, and like whenever I would see him, I'd be like, oh my god, he's so hot, he's so cute, like he's so interesting, and then hooked up with him, and I was like, it's okay, but like now I've like lost all infatuation for him because it's like the chase, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like I just want to know what this is like, and then it's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
It's a weird thing that we do, like with the pedestal thing. It's
Right.
it's a very interesting concept because like in a relationship that totally doesn't really work.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
why do we do it all the time?
I don't know. I think you just meet people and you're like enamored by them, and not necessarily. May not even, like you said, like the thought of the person, not even like the actual person.
yeah,
It's
the
like-
idea of them.
It's like, to me too, the idea is also like, oh, what this person could be with me.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
like, or this person could be, yeah.
Or like the idea of us together.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think if you think in that terms, to me, that's infatuation. But when you're thinking about love, it becomes different.
Yeah.
Is anyone here a fixer-upper? Like they
On the inside.
go. No, not you yourself.
No, it's
No, like
As in you go into a relationship and you're like, I can fix him.
oh, I thought you meant like I like
as in,
fixing
like-
people up.
Oh no,
I'm like,
I
oh,
meant
this
like
friend and
I
that
meant more
friend.
like because I feel like I have a lot of friends who are just like, yeah, like
he's
I know
rough
he's not
around the
perfect,
edges.
He's rough around the edges,
Yes.
but I'll fix him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't. I
yeah.
don't fucking I don't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Did you
If
ever-
someone? No, I mean I've been with people who like had flaws, but everyone has their own flaws.
Yeah.
Like I clearly have flaws, which we talked about like a couple minutes ago. But I never go in a relationship with someone who I want to change. Like maybe it's some things like, oh, like I think maybe you should try doing this because it'll be better for you. Like if I've had boyfriends before where they had like problems with ambition, which to me is a very important character trait of just like, you know, we should both want to be successful and happy in life and
Yeah.
not just like unhappy in your work and whatever you're doing. So
Yeah.
things like that I could see. But if someone is rough around the edges and just needs fixing in any way, but in your opinion, I feel like
It's funny.
tough to get into that.
The opposite wording for that, if you want to perceive it a different way, is, oh, this person has potential.
Positive way of looking.
No, it's true though. I think that's.
let's get Chip and Joanna
Yeah.
in here. Knock
Do
down a
makeup
wall.
and
Slap on that bitch.
Oh,
Figure out
shit,
what is
wow.
open for your face.
But
though.
I think, how do I do it? Or how do I say it?
No, or
Yeah,
watch it
shallow.
forever.
Yeah.
I met them.
Bitch.
We can't talk about it.
We
Sorry.
can't
Okay. Next show.
I feel like I feel that way more so because I think I'm just super immature. I don't have a lot of experience, just in general. So I think it's because I'm still at like stage 1. I haven't moved on to stage 2 or 3.
Oh.
Like in what sense? Like you want to find somebody to fix, or like
It's
or
just
you
kind of
feel
my
like
natural
you're-
attraction to
Okay,
people.
yeah, yeah.
Like I think I end up liking people who I look at them and go, I do want to get to know you because there's potential, but in that way. But like I said, I don't have much experience. My last real partner, I was 14.
Wow, really?
It's been a while.
Yeah. Dated
So-
on and off kind of thing.
Every so often, online dates, had a casual relationship that didn't really work out. And then after that, I was just like, okay, this is fine.
Laugh through the pain.
Yeah. And it's like when I'm super stressed, then I'll one of the frequent conversations I've had with Texas whenever I'm super stressed is like, I just need a boy.
Texas is like, girl.
Texas-
yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
By the way, sorry about our casual relationship.
Oh, yes,
It was. We
I
gave it
didn't
a
think you'd
good
bring it
college
up.
try.
Excuse me. I thought that was with me.
shit.
Wait, what?
Playing.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I was definitely more of one of those people who was like, ooh, problems, I can fix those. Now I'm just like, give me stability.
I'm just too fucking.
rock.
I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to like deal with someone else's like major life issues like that. Like I'm like, if you can't fucking sort your shit out, I don't want to have to do that for you. I got my own shit to figure out.
There was something else I saw. I'm
just
I don't know
lazy.
if it was a tweet or something, but it was like your first date. It's like, hey, how are you? Have you like taken care of all of like the childhood things and like bad things that have happened to you? So you don't have to put those on me. Have you? Okay.
Have you seen a therapist? Because I'm not a registered one.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not here to be your therapist. I already go to therapy. You should pay to go to one too, because it's great.
Or pay me.
Or pay me. Yeah.
What do you guys think about love? Do you have,
It's fake.
Whoa.
It's not real, Yssa.
Yssa, don't listen to her. She can't hurt you.
We all die.
No, Yssa. Yssa.
Stage one. Stage one.
We all die naked and alone. And afraid. Yeah.
I hope I'm naked when I die.
Me too.
Freeing.
I'll be naked when I live.
I think love is a very real thing, and I think it like goes through stages, right? Because you're like you have you're like getting your honeymoon phase, and then you reach this point where it's like, okay, now we're in the thick of it. Am I gonna love you when shit goes really bad? And like how is this? It's like a partnership now, right?
Yeah.
And then you get past that, and you're like into your years of marriage, where you're like, God, I fucking hate you, but it's too much to get divorced.
that's love.
I think it's
That's
very.
love.
I think the most telling thing about love between two people is how they support you when you're in a rough spot. Like out of all my long distance, not long-term relationships, rather, that's the thing that has been the most telling. Of just like, if I'm having a rough day or dealing with this rough situation, how do you support me?
Right.
How do you treat me? And like that has been so telling.
Yeah.
And see, my husband has always been really there for me.
Except when you're playing HQ.
Except when I'm playing HQ.
Divorce.
The reverse of that, for a substantial portion of our relationship, not something that came naturally to me.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, and so I was always kind of like, why are you still here? Like, I'm not being overly critical when I'm like, we gotta work on, I gotta work on some things. And so
At least
yeah.
you recognize that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sure took a while.
Listen, doesn't come naturally for everyone.
It's a marathon, honey, not a sprint.
Yeah.
So you can confidently say you guys have like definitely loved someone.
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. I think yeah.
Are we gonna find Yssa love today, right now?
Stop.
Well, Bachelor number one, come on out.
Number one, come through the door.
Oh my god, we could easily turn this into a dating show.
We could.
Oh my god.
Oi.
There is
Oh,
Well, we'll do a day in trial.
If we were on a date and we had 3 hours to do stuff, what would we do and where would we go? That's my dating.
Oh, there it is.
Rooster Teeth Bachelorette, Issa's the star. Done, pitched.
Done and dusted.
Green
Listen,
light it.
There's like 450 people here. We'll find one.
Wait, we have to find them here? Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I sense a lot of problems,
Oh.
including legal problems.
Yeah. So
Listen, plenty of us are dating in
There's-
the office.
Yeah, but I don't think the company has like made it like a competition thus far.
But now they can.
But now they can.
Think about how much money they save.
it.
They don't have to pay for an extra +1 at parties. If you go to an event, both of
That's
you could
$50
share a room.
right there. That is, yeah, like
Saving the company money.
$200.
My first love turned out gay.
Max, that's why we brought you here today.
Sorry about that.
is pretty-
Look at her think that this is true.
No, it's
but
not
tell me
true.
about it.
Oh no, it's great. We're friends, but there was one time I think we're still great friends. When I visited New Jersey, we actually ended up having dinner together.
Aw,
He's an awesome person, but it was hilarious. He didn't know at the time that he was gay, and then as we grew up, I was at a party with him and their friend group, and it was all our dance friends. That's how we know each other now. And we were all drinking, so we got very honest. And I was just like, hey, how'd you find out? And they exchanged stories, etc. And it was funny because the entire night he kept going like, hey, remember when we kissed? And I was like, shut up, we did not kiss. And he was like, no, come on, remember when you were my girlfriend? And he just kept making jokes like that. And I hate him. But he's a great guy.
Oh, the inverse of that. My first love turned out to be straight.
Oh.
Can't think of a better way to end the show.
I told my ex-girlfriend from college that I was gay after getting drunk downtown, and then somebody was like, have you told her? And I was like, nope. And I was like, hey, by the way, it wasn't you, it was me, I'm gay, bye. That was about, I haven't talked to her since.
Oh,
about
did
it.
she text you back or anything like that?
No, I mean, we talked on the phone,
Oh,
but,
I haven't seen her or anything.
I mean, if you were drunk, did you remember what she said?
I mean, like, she was like, thanks, I guess. I don't know. It was,
Valid
would it be
response.
my fault?
Valid response.
Yeah,
Like, I never thought it was, but thanks for validating that.
Like, why would it have been on me?
Yeah, you should have
Like,
really
it was
ruined her life. You turned me gay.
Well, can't get higher than that.
Nope.
Thanks so much for coming on the show, my friends.
Yeah,
Oh,
guys.
thank you
Meryl,
for
as
having
always.
Barbara.
Audience, thank you. We love
Thank you, audience.
We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.